Welcome, everybody. We are Wax World. Jacob loves the background music. I don't know why it was playing through your speakers again. We've rebranded. We are new. We have risen from the ashes, just like Alex has backstage. This is the triumph of the human spirit across the globe. We'll get into that whole thing in a little bit. We used to be Rated R Planet. We put ourselves in a corner. We're the Wax Boys. So we broadened what we wanted to do. So we're over here in Wax World now. One thing that I am bringing forward from our old 5-episode run, I think it was, up to this new one, Jacob, is the lovely puns. So this week we're going to have on Alex from NFTDraft. And in that vein, or Wax World, who in the NFL most represents this intersection? NFL, Wax. Do you have any guesses?
Well, I know that Russell Okung was the one who wanted to get paid in Bitcoin.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's the answer or if that's on the right track.
No, it's not.
It's Deshaun Waxon.
See, that's an even better one. I'm mad at Pro Football Reference because I did some sleuthing to find wax people, but they didn't exist. So we're going with Mike Wick. Mike Wick is our, like Vic, Wick, candle, wax.
Nice.
Is our NFL player of the stream. So that's what we're gonna do for the waxes. I'll come with some dumb word puns here. So before further ado, Alex, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to come on. I just don't want to throw you on. Okay, perfect. Alex is ready. Here he is.
What's up?
Made it.
Jimmy?
Yes. So,
all right.
So Alex, you're on your phone.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
You sound great.
We were having some technical difficulties. Alex is in what? South Africa?
South Africa, correct. Yeah.
Are you in where in South Africa are you located?
Pretoria.
I don't know where that is. I know Cape Town and I know Joburg and nothing else in between.
Yeah, so it's like people usually say Pretoria and Joburg is the same thing, but it's not.
Okay. So you're basically from Joburg. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
From Joburg. Yeah, so we've got Alex here. He is one of the mods from the NFT Draft Discord. We're very excited to have him on. We were hoping he would get us some access to unpacking packs even before it's available, but it turns out my non-technical mind cannot understand that, like, when it's not available for anyone, it's not available for anyone. So
yeah, unfortunately, that is true for now.
But you are very far ahead of us time-wise, and we do appreciate you taking some time out of your late night or early morning, whichever way you want to put it, to join us and talk some NFT draft.
Yeah, cheers. It's great to be here.
So, Alex, is that your role with NFT Draft? Like, are you mod, or like what is your role with them or with you?
Well, at this stage, I have been helping them with some wax-related information. So giving them advice on how to do things on Wax. What is the community like? How do they like to do it? Also some managing of the community and pretty much doing the streams and just, PR, public relations, if you want to say it like that.
Got it. Jack of all trades.
Involved? How do you get how'd you get connected to these guys?
That's very funny. So the owner, actually, he was on the Atomic Asset Telegram. He messaged and, he said he had some problems. I just messaged him and I DM'd him, started talking to him. He started telling me the numbers and I was like, well, this is a lot of NFTs that you want to release. And through that, I told him I want to come on the team. Awesome. It sounded like great information, a great project, and I just came on the team. And from there on, it's been pretty much life-changing, I can say that.
And so, Alex, did you actually follow? So you're obviously on the Wax side, and I know in the Discord you've got Wax or NFT specialists, you've got fantasy football specialists, and you've got people who know about both. So are you a both, or are you just on the Wax side and first learning about American football?
Yeah, I'm more Wax, not NFL yet, but we're getting there.
All right.
I did some homework, and I watched one of your streams with Maddie Daddy. And I knew you were a nerd and on the Wax side because you asked, like, is Deebo Samuel a receiver or a wide receiver? And that's not to embarrass you. It's just to say, I know you're a nerd through and through. I love it. I think it's great. And I love, here's what I really like. I just met you 4 minutes ago. You're kind of inspiring me already just to put yourself out there because you said, hey, I'll help out, and I like what you're doing, so I want to join the team. I want to do it. So kudos to you. That takes a lot of guts to do that, and self-belief, I guess. So first of all, we'll start there. That's awesome. Let's go back a little bit, Alex, before we get into NFT draft stuff, because we'll hear your spiel, I promise. Oh, look at you doing tech support, trying to get onto your actual streaming while you're talking to us. How did you get started in NFTs in Nerd World? Again, doing my due diligence. I know you're an FPS gamer. It's first-person shooter. So, like, is that tied in? Like, did you get into computers that way, or what brought you into the NFT side?
Just 2 cents. So, coming into the NFTs, a guy actually just posted a WhatsApp story about Bitcoin Origins, and I was like, "Well, what is this? What is this Bitcoin Origins? It looks flashy." He told me about it. He was like, "Is this wax? Is this Atomic Hub?" I then bought some wax straight away, about $130 worth of wax. Missed out on the sale because y'all know how sweaty that was. But I bought some more wax, bought it on the secondary market, pulled a mint 6, sold that for like 600 wax in profit. I was like, wow, there's no way. It's like, 600 wax at that time for me was like, wow, I just got 4,100 wax back. That's how I started. That was the 2nd of February, and I've just been full on NFTs, full on Atomic Hub. A month later, I made Ultra Horror's team, I made Burst, and the rest has been history, literally.
So I'm not gonna make you try and choose between NFT draft and anything else. So not including NFT draft, what is your favorite? What's your favorite NFT? What's your favorite game? Whatever it is on Wax.
So favorite NFT is definitely my girlfriend has her own art as well. But favorite NFT is Noble Logan from Dirty Flatjack. Definitely favorite, all-time favorite. But I'm also a big horrors fan. Ultra horror.
Yeah. I don't think we've covered those so much. I mean, because on this stream we stick mostly to the games. I mean those are. I mean, they're cool, definitely. But yeah. we haven't actually touched on that so much. Because we've been talking about like Art Planet and Green Rabbit and all the Train of the Century, I think is what it's called. and now obviously NFT draft, because Tom and I were big. There you go, trains. Tom and I are big into fantasy football. That's how we got introduced and got started into this, was through the DFS world. And so we both got super pumped about NFT draft because we love fantasy football and DFS. We love Wax and all the games and the utility and the NFTs. And now this is the first one to truly cross both of those together. And that's what got us so excited about it.
Yeah, I'm also very excited. Even though I'm not an NFL, I've almost zero knowledge of NFL. But at least I've made that to teach me. And throughout my streams, I'm going to pretty much learn with him. And hopefully I can, by September 14th, I can actually be something in the NFL. So yeah, sorry about that.
Well, Tom also bought a league pack, so you can join our league.
Very nice.
Yeah, I am excited about it. Well, and I was telling Jacob before, I'm in this just to learn, because this is it's a weird world, and you know that.
Yep.
How did you turn $100 into X number of dollars you might have now on Atomic Hub? I don't know. It's weird. And this just is the encompassing of that weirdness of, I can buy this on Wax on money that I got because I bought Street Fighter decks, and now I just have this bankroll.
Yeah, exactly.
Incredible stuff. So Alex, can you tell us about NFT draft? Give us the high level view, what it is. And then unfortunately, because where Jacob and I met, it's a fantasy football focused Discord. I do have at least one super in-depth question for you about functionality. So we'll get to that, but I'm prepping you of, it's okay if you're like, I don't know. So give me the spiel. Why NFT draft? Why is it going to be successful on the blockchain?
All right. So NFT draft is a fantasy league project. So you'll see that they're building a whole fancy league on their website, a whole backend where you'll be able to host your own tournament. NFTDraft will host their own tournament. You'll see the thing that is very different with this one, if you look at Fantasy League, is it's about positions. And that's going to make this a lot more different to approach. Okay, so the position aspect is going to be more different, and because you don't get the players, and also the fact that you also get rarities, and rarities give you extra bonuses. So if you look at your goat gets a 5% scoring bonus. That's a lot. You guys will know, So if he runs 50 meters, it's 5% plus more that you get with having a goat. MEPs earn 3%. That also cost less. Goats cost less. It also works on a point system, so you can only enter a team on 135 points maximum, or at least 10, or at most 10 people, 10 players.
Right. Putting that in perspective to like the old DFS world where it's based on a salary, it's basically like if you had a better version, it would cost less because usually it's a salary. You have to do a certain, every player costs a certain amount. So the GOATs and the MVPs, they cost less. This is points instead of salary, but it's basically the same. And to your point also, I mean, those points, that percentage is such a huge boost. I mean, a lot of times these big tournaments, it can be 1 point or less that makes the difference between taking home like the $1 million first place prize versus falling to second, third, or even fifth or lower, which is a much lower prize pool. So yeah, I mean, those GOATs, those MVPs, they're going to really make a
big difference. Yeah, big difference.
So we do have a question, Travis. I love it, Travis. Pump the bags, Travis. This is great. Asking how he feels about the surprise sale selling out in 20 minutes. Obviously, we know you're thrilled. That's just great news for NFT Draft all around. Once you get to the stage where the surprise drafts are selling out that quickly, there's interest, of course.
Yeah, no, it's exciting to see those. Very, very exciting. I was sleeping, but it's exciting to wake up because I was going to go buy a pack when I woke up, and I was like, okay, wow, they sold out. Wow.
Yeah. I saw it, and I was I saw it as they said there are 9 captain packs left, and I went, and no, there were no captain packs left. So I was like, all right, well, let me go see if I can get a draft pack, and I got one. There was like 10 left. I got one, and less than 30 seconds later, I was like, well, let me watch this because it's got a 5-minute refresh, and I was like, yeah, that's not happening. It's sold out. It's done.
Crazy. It's exciting to see these things unfold in front of your eyes. You don't want to say, okay, we're going to have a sellout instant, but I mean, 20 minutes is still a big milestone to hit at such an early stage in the project.
I think that's also important to note that it's early days in the project. I know we are, as we've hit a few times, we're fantasy football nerds, so we are ramping up. We are already drafting NFL teams right now, literally this moment. That. It's crazy. We're stupid. But to your point about how this game is structured, you pick the RB1 of a team versus you pick Christian McCaffrey. He's the go-to because he's the 1.01 in every draft. So that does really flip everything on its head, if you will, because injuries matter differently. I'm not going to say they matter less, but they matter differently because you're really, my hypothesis is, and I'm not sure if anybody or like Matty Daddy, your go-to football guy, has mentioned offensive line play. I think that's going to be actually pretty important because specifically for running backs, because if the first running back goes down, then his teammates, if they're good, it's going to be easy for that backup to be successful. So it is early days. It is weird and different. So that's why I'm interested in it and giving it a shot for sure. There was one really specific question that folks had, which was, and ties into early days because you're really flexible right now. Are you looking at doing, or is the team looking at doing what we call showdown slates, which would be a one day, one game matchup against 2 teams? Anything like that on the docket, or is it mostly week by week?
So for right now, I am aware that there is for now weekly tournaments. It's going to be weekly tournaments, free to enter, big prize pool because the community or the owner is very focused on the community, very, very focused. And that's why I said I want to join the team because he was talking community the whole time. I was like, well, great. I can help with, if you want to focus on the community, I can help with that. For the most part, I do understand what what the big collectors want, and I told him I can help with that. And through that, he said, well, 50% of all the secondary sales goes back to the community.
So I'm just going to hammer this point home because we do have a football guy here who says Taylor, who wants LA running back too. Oh, good. Jacob and I are going to fight already about running backs. Actually, you're right. He didn't say which LA. That's a good point.
That was the point. That was my point. He didn't say which LA team.
There you go. So as you might know, Alex, there was a big injury in the league already. Unfortunately,
I heard
Cam Akers.
The ACL, right? It's always ACL.
Achilles, yeah, it's close. Achilles, ACL. Only someone who actually knows at least a little bit about medicine would care about the difference.
That's right. That's right. Knees or ankles? Who knows? Who cares? So the LA RB2 is now what I put in the chat, Xavier Jones. It's no longer Darrell Henderson, who was the RB2. So that's the point of this is it's just going to morph into that running back one of that week. And I did ask some questions about where we're figuring that out as far as the depth chart. And I learned that it's CBS Sports. That's going to be the source of truth for depth charts. And then also they do stats service, which I didn't know. So we'll be getting NFTDraft will be getting stats from CBS because I know official stats can be hard to come by and can be pricey. So that was another thing that got me excited about this product because they've thought this through already as far as stats and where they're going to officially source things from.
That's something that I didn't know. And Tom, I want to say that that's really important to know. CBS Sports being the source. I mean, if people not watching the stream are looking at ESPN's depth charts, being like, okay, this guy's going to be the RB1 this week. This guy's going to be the wide receiver 2 this week. But those of us who've actually paid closer attention to Alex and this stream will know, actually, let's check CBS Sports. And if the two are not saying the same thing, CBS Sports is going to be the one that we want to go with. And so that's an important thing that I think everyone should write down and pay attention to, because those are the edges we all look for.
I think it was something Edge. There was a website called, wasn't it?
NBC Sports Edge?
That's
yes,
right.
that one. Yeah. I know Matty said that is what he watches to make sure to keep up on the news. But Matty and I will probably do a stream before the tournament, and then we'll chat about things to watch out for. We are planning on doing that together, so that's going to be exciting. That's definitely going to be a thing to watch as well.
Awesome.
I love it. I love it.
What about how much do you know about the future plans? I think a big question for guys like us is, okay, so this year it's just launch. We've got everyone. We've got all these teams. But what happens to our NFTs next year? Are there going to be brand new packs with the same positions being sold, in which case our old ones are worthless and useless? Or is there some future plan where the new stuff will still come out and will still be worth it, but there will still be remaining value to holding the old season's NFTs as well? Do you know what the future looks like?
Yeah, that's a great question. So your NFTs will not be useless. In actual fact, there's going to be added bonuses to holding your NFTs from the old season. So it's not going to be useless at all. It will still be part of it, and you will get added bonuses on holding your season 1 NFTs. But yes, there will be a new deck release. Numbers will be discussed obviously later on when we get to that point. But from this point onwards, there will be some scoring bonuses added to those NFTs.
So if I had to guess, it sounds like you could basically maybe like stack cards where you have to have the season 2 cards in order to play. But if you have like matching cards and you stack the season 1 with the season 2, you get an extra bonus similar to a GOAT or an MVP.
Yeah, so the new deck gets a 2% bonus, like I said. Yeah, so you get a full 2% bonus on the deck, and that will probably obviously stack. So if you're a GOAT, you'll be a 7% bonus in that case.
I like this team.
Yeah,
this team sounds like they know what they're doing, and that is really cool. That's exciting.
Yeah. So you will see that it will probably, there'll probably be some regulation as to you have to play. For example, you can only play 3 season 1 cards or something like that. But I think those things will be discussed. Don't quote me on that. Those things will be discussed and will be spoken about in the new season.
But knowing that they're thinking about it, they've already got a plan for the future to, number one, continue, because we don't want them to just be like, okay, we sold it and now we're done. We want them to have a plan so
you can burn
continue that revenue, but we also want to benefit ourselves. So it's good to, that's exciting for me to know this team has got a head on their shoulders and they've got a plan.
Definitely.
So Alex, I know we're wrapping up because it is actually almost 4 a.m. Where you are, and you prefer to you stay up late anyway, so I don't feel that bad. But still, thank you an incredible amount for hanging out with us for a little bit.
It's now almost 4. I mean, that's a big difference.
That's true. I wouldn't want to go to sleep 2 hours later to talk to you, Jacob.
It's not an issue. I love being here. I love talking NFT draft. I love NFTs. Honestly speaking, this has been, like I said, it's a life changer for me. Talking NFTs, I will wake up 5 o'clock in the morning with no sleep, and I love it.
Alex, are you into Ethereum NFTs at all?
I'm actually getting into it. I'm part of a very great group of collectors, the Atomic Kings. I'm part of them, and there are people spamming their apes, spamming their aliens, and I'm just like, guys, please stop. I can't take out my Ethereum stash. My Ethereum is still stashed, but I'm telling you, I've been a click away a few times to get some Ethereum NFTs.
Well, pumping not friends bags, but whatever. Someone I know in like Andy's bag. No, it's Andy's. He's coming out with a thing called Fractional. Tomorrow they're going to announce it. And what that lets you do is pool your money and buy a more expensive NFT. So you and your buddies could go together and get that punk or get that ape. I don't have that kind of money. So it's a way to kind of level up instead of what Jacob and I sometimes do now, which is print some of those avatar 10,000 mint things and hope that we get a rare one and then sell it for too much money. So that's one thing you can get into as well. Do you have any questions for us, Alex? Anything that you want to hear about from us as far as Americans, football fans, NFT fans, anything like that?
Well, I think I've got my work cut out for me. I think I have not at all done any studying on the NFL. I'm not going to lie. But as soon as everything kicks off, as soon as I do my studying, I'm going to hit you guys up, and we're going to have a chat. We're going to have another stream. I might get you on my stream as well, which might be very fun. So as soon as everything kicks off, you guys will be the first to contact after Matty Daddy.
Awesome.
Let's do it. Yeah,
we will be happy to help. Anything you need, DM us. So we're happy to get you into it. I have one request. Can you get us a pack to give away? I want to give away something to the guys who are watching right now.
Not right now. We want to. I want to organize it. Right. But cool. we can talk in the future. We'll get you.
I can definitely get some packs. Get some packs for you guys to give away. Definitely.
Awesome. So we're gonna let you go. Unless you've got anything else for us, anything else you want to tell us about NFT Draft, about you, any other questions you want to ask. Closing words before we let you go to sleep.
Well, the great thing, like I said, about this NFT Draft, it is community focused, and I can say from the top down, it is only going to be community focused. We'll put the community first as much as what we can. So from my side, I am so blessed and thankful to be on the show from you guys. Thank you for your time. Very excited. Launch of the pack opening is on Wednesday. Okay, I'm not sure whether it's going to be Central Time or I'm not sure what time it's going to be, but we are working on it being Wednesday very hard. I'm telling you, very hard at work. We have a great team of developers behind it. Also, what I want to say is from a back-end point of view, so once the tournament now starts, you will see on the back end of the website, the names will actually superimpose the positions. So when you enter your tournament and the tournament starts, you will actually be able to see which name, you will see the names pop up. So if you have RB2 from the Jet, you will see the RB2 is this guy. I'm not sure who that guy is. And also that guy is.
So Alex, 2 things. One, that actually, honestly, that's super exciting to me because I'd rather root for probably Michael Carter to start the season for the Jets than New York Jets RB2. Second one, the Jets are terrible. Don't use them as an example. They're a bad team and they have been for a long time.
I heard they have good wide receivers.
They've got a lot of wide receivers, and that's one of those things where NFT Draft, that's what makes it so interesting is whoever I consider to be the Jets wide receiver 1 is probably Corey Davis, but what CBS Sports says, they might say it's Elijah Moore. They might say it's Jamison Crowder. I mean, it's so murky right now that it's hard to know, and that's what makes it so cool. As opposed to a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, everybody knows the wide receiver 1 is going to be Tyreek Hill. And I bring up the Chiefs specifically as an example because, like Tom said, if you want to use an example of a good team, Chiefs are a good team.
Nice.
See, Alex, we're going to coach you up. We're going to coach you up on the football side. You coach us up on the NFT side.
I love that.
Perfect. All right, Alex, you can stick around for train talk if you want. We're going to talk trains next. You can stay up past your bedtime again if you want. Or
I've skipped on the trains. When I saw the choo-choos and the conductors, I was like, hey, I didn't have the work. So you guys must enjoy that talk. Thank you so much for having me. I just got confirmation. We will give you guys 10 to 20 packs that you guys can give away to the community.
Amazing.
So yeah, that is that'll be online. I'll chat to you guys as soon as I wake up in the morning about that, and etc.
Thank you so much, Alex. Have a good night.
I'll see you guys soon. Thank you very much.
Bye, Alex.
Take care. All right, Tom.
What? I cut Alex off. I'm sorry, Alex.
I have a pun to retort to your pun. You did the NFT draft pun. I got an Our Planet pun for you.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let's talk. We'll go to Our Planet and we'll go to trains in a minute.
All right. I'm excited. What do you think? Takeaways.
I don't know. Like here's honestly where I'm at. I'm wax poor, so I could sell these things for a lot of wax and then go into another project. I don't know what it is. I really do want to play at least one season with it, and if the money goes down the drain, the money goes down the drain. I think it could work. I don't know that it'll have mass adoption, but I also don't know that it needs mass adoption. I just need 11 friends to play, and then we're playing a game, right? That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're more on the league side. I mean, I love the DFS side a lot more.
Yeah.
I was telling Tom before we started this that I've been loading up on just buying cheap decks. So I bought I bought 2 captain packs right away. Then I bought a third one specifically to flip because it seemed to me to be very underpriced on wax. On wax, it was way cheaper than it was. This is when the sale in US dollars on credit card was still available. Bought that, did successfully flip it because the prices went up. And then I put a lot of that money back into buying more promo packs, and I was able to snag a few free promo packs. So I've got a whole bunch of packs now. And I'm wondering, I mean, I'm in on the DFS side. I don't know how many cards I actually need versus what I want to give away, because I was going to do a giveaway no matter what. I asked, but I was always going to do a giveaway. It was just going to come out of my wallet or out of NFTDraft's wallet. So we do thank them. We appreciate it. Because now I can decide, again, how many cards do I need to keep and hold? How many packs do I rip? And then maybe there's some trading that goes on. I think trading is going to be a big aspect to this instead of just sales on secondary market. Oh, I need this player. I need, the Kansas City Chiefs QB1. I think that there might be a market for, well, I've got 2, Kansas City Chief QB number, Kansas City, QB number 1s, but I really want the whole stack and I don't have a Kansas City tight end number 1. Can we trade so that someone else can, sort of get that stack too? I think that's a lot of where this goes. So I need to determine how much I want to keep, sell, trade, etc.
And I do think there's more as I'm chewing on it now, and I've been thinking about it a little bit. There's going to be more to the football strategy aspect than I first thought. For example, who's going to start the season in San Francisco? It's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah,
he's likely not going to be a fantasy darling. That's not his deal. He's a game manager. He'll be okay, probably. Then what's going to happen? He's going to get injured or he's going to get benched for Trey Lance, who's going to be apparently a fantasy superstar. I'm big into Trey Lance, but he's going to run a lot. So that's going to be the big difference there is here's my strategy. I'm going to try to get the QB1 for teams that have a pocket passing quarterback with a rushing quarterback behind him. So San Francisco is one. The other one, kind of a meme, kind of not, is Minnesota. I believe in Kellen Mond. He can run. Do you remember Joe Webb when Joe Webb played for the Vikings? Yeah. I think
like one good game in his career.
But he was exciting. Like that's what I want. Like this is
right.
So get Minnesota QB1, hoping for Kellen Mond. That's the advice that you come here to get from Wax World. But I do but it also, the strategy will differ based on position. Like that's quarterback.
Yeah.
Clear, it makes sense. Running back, you go behind a stacked offensive line. I think that's fine in my book, or a team that runs a lot. So Ravens would be one. Ooh, Gouache the Sharp, the Mintopoly Whale, Chicago.
That's assuming. I was going to bring up Chicago, but I mean, I'm kind of thinking Justin Fields may end up just winning the starting job at a training camp anyway. We'll have to see, but like the shell of Andy Dalton, that wasn't a great shell to begin with, may not win the starting job. It might just go to Fields.
Yeah, and Fields has been an incredible prospect for a long time too. So there's also that. Tight ends is going to be tricky, I think, from the football side as it is in regular fantasy side.
I think wide receiver is the most interesting, though. I mean, that's what you brought up. Go back to San Francisco. Is Ayuk going to be the wide receiver number one, or is Debo going to be the wide receiver number one? Both of them are very similar players, very talented. Either one could go off in any game. So depending upon how the market views it, it could be that what the market says is the QB1 is actually, like, what if the CBS Sports comes out and they declare that actually Debo is number one and Ayuk's number two, but the market says all of a sudden that Ayuk is the number one because that card, that NFT, is more expensive than the Debo card. And then, it makes for a very interesting case. Do we take the value play? Do we take, it's just, to me, wide receiver, because of how those depth charts a lot of times don't really mean anything, especially at that position. Seattle would be another example. LA Rams, I mean, you can basically look at the entire NFC West and say that's just one big mosh pit of wide receivers that who knows what number means whom and who's going to be the better player in any given week.
Yeah. The question for next time we talk with Alex is going to be when do rosters lock, and is there late swap possible?
Right.
Because late news is going to just wreck stuff. Because if you have an MVP or a GOAT QB2 and then QB1 gets their lung punctured by the medical staff right before a game, there you go. Then you're printing money with the Chargers there that week. So yeah, as you can tell, I didn't even want to keep talking NFT draft really, but we just fell into it because then we were able to talk football. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it's interesting.
You already responded in the chat, but Jeremy brings up a great point. Like, what if I play Saints QB2 because it's so cheap on a points basis, and the risk is Taysom doesn't do anything, right? Assuming Jameis starts and Taysom's number two, but the upside is Taysom comes in and he has 2 rushing touchdowns in a week in a DFS tournament. Again, I'm much more focused on the tournament side versus the league side, but that could be a really cheap way to get a lot of points by playing a guy like that. There's so much utility here. And at first I was like, well, this is weird that they're not using the actual names and faces of players. And, is it really going to take off in this space? But in some ways, if they really double down on that, they could totally upend the market.
I don't see that happening, but I see that being a niche market, and I see there being an edge here, and it's a different edge than just straight up fantasy football and straight up DFS.
Stop fudding. I'm trying to pump NFT draft bags, and you're just fudding on me.
I'm not saying they're going to upend the fantasy football market that's a lot.
No, I mean, that's probably not going to happen. But I think that it is going to have its place. It's something that's a differentiator. A lot of times we look for differentiators. Like, let's be honest. What's the differentiator between DraftKings and FanDuel?
Half-point PPR.
Right. Okay, fine. Like, basically nothing. The 60,000 instead of 50,000 salary. But something like, I don't know if you've looked into SuperDraft. SuperDraft is very different because they don't use a salary cap. You can play whoever you want, but there's a multiplier in place. And that's very similar to the points here. So again, you're right. It's not about like upending the market, taking over. It's about having your niche and having people that want to play in it.
Yes.
And
I think you're right.
There's a lot where this can go. Like, I've got other ideas that I don't want to take up all our time with. And you'd probably tell me that I'm either galaxy braining or just an idiot or both. Like, but there's a lot more that we could go in utility, but we can save that for another week.
I have a great segue. You mentioned niches. The other niche that we were in for a little bit was Our Planet, and Jacob has already teased that he has an Our Planet pun for me, because that used to be my bit, and they got incredibly bad after 5. So I'm curious. What do you got, Jacob?
All right, so hopefully you understand the lore at least a little bit. Okay, if we take some Kansas pigs, and instead of escaping the planet, they just escape the state. Where do they go?
Missouri.
Arkansas.
Oh,
so
that's a good one.
With my wife, we went on a tiny solo vacation. It's about a 4-hour drive down to Arkansas or Arkansas, right? Kansas. We go from Kansas to Arkansas, and she comes up to me and she's holding this. Do you know what this is, Tom?
Hold on, I'm zooming in. Hold on. Is that an arrowhead?
This is a piece of limestone.
No.
She says to me, "Here, look. How much money can you make mining this?"
She's just owning you. That's ridiculous.
Does. My wife owns me. But then I asked her, I said, "Okay, how do you pronounce?" And anyone who's been here since episode 1 knows that this is the big Tom and Jacob fight argument. I said, "How do you pronounce AE?" The 2 letters together. And you know what she says? She says
Ether.
I'm like, wait, so you're telling me that AETHER is neither aether nor ether, it's ether. She goes, yeah, it's ether. And she was a linguistics major in college and worked doing like translator stuff. So, I mean, I think we need to, she, like you said, she owns me with the limestone. I think we might need to start calling it ether. She's got us.
Hey, Jacob. We have a question in the chat from Johnny Brady. Ideas on the Saw NFT. I kind of know you, but I don't know you that well. Are you like horror films, like gore? Is that your deal? Do you just shy away from it? I need you to be honest.
I watched pretty much all the Saw movies. They ended up getting just like, I like horror. I like thriller, but just not for the sake of gore. I like it because like, the adrenaline rush, that stuff. Saw got to be too gory, too unbelievable that I kind of stopped watching. I didn't watch the last couple. There was like 7 or 8. I watched like the first 4 or 5.
So I don't like horror movies. I don't like gore. This could be genetic. I don't know, but my daughter actually has a thing where if she gets it's actually called a trigger of some sort, like, but for her right now it's blood. Like she will lose blood pressure and may pass out and may throw up. Like it's happened a couple times. So she loses her, like it's bad. So it might come from me just not liking gore, but here's my thoughts on the Saw NFTs. This is what it is. I don't love it. Now we're done. Okay. I'm done. I don't like it. I don't want to see those. I don't want to buy those. So no, I don't want to do with the Saw NFTs. You might like them. You might like staking them.
Here's my take on it is I looked into it a little bit and I didn't fully get the utility. I had a little bit of a trouble understanding all the use of it. So if someone can explain that to me, maybe I'll get into it. But I didn't love the art either. Like that was not, to me, when I think about Saw and I think about the greatest scenes from Saw, like if you just took a snapshot of all the greatest pictures, from the iconic scenes of Saw, what I saw, no pun intended, in those NFTs with like 1 or 2 here and there exceptions, they were not the ones that I would have wanted to see. So that was extremely disappointing when I was like, they could have gone so many ways. You probably haven't seen the movie at all because you hate gore and hate it. But the iconic line is, "I want to play a game." And it's basically a puzzle game. It's a real life, the whole theory of Saw, for anyone who hasn't seen it, which I'm just going to go ahead and assume, Tom, that you haven't so that I can say this, is that it's basically a real live gory puzzle where this guy, Jigsaw, the bad guy, takes people, puts them into these basically impossible puzzles where either they solve the puzzle and survive or die trying or give up and die. So there is so much that you could do with that. And as we've seen it a lot of times where it's just a money grab, it feels to me, and I could be wrong, it could be they've got a plan here, but unlike NFT Draft, where they've got a good plan and they're putting into this great game, Saw was just like, oh, look, we have Saw NFTs, not we're playing into the greatest parts of the Saw franchise and making it NFT and valuable and a great game.
I can summarize this, I think. So this would have been great, Johnny, back in the days of Mr. Bosak, our friend Ken, when he was running amok, creating a lot of revenue for us in Our Planet. But since Our Planet created the pools and staking from the pools, I personally, I'm now an Our Planet elitist in that I like the Our Planet elements pretty much exclusively for staking purposes. That's why I didn't bother with Street Fighter 2. I don't care about the staking possibilities there. I don't care about the flipping possibilities there. I don't think there are any. So I'm personally out on Saw NFT stuff because I'm in it for the art, and the art scares me. Yeah,
I hear that. I think that's going to turn a lot of people away. And I just Johnny Brady, Mr. Ballsack. Yeah. So I would agree with you there. I also want to bring up what Taylor is saying there. So Taylor's got a lot of information here, and it's great. We should be paying attention to it. But I love what he says right there. Dynasty play, Dynasty and DFF. It's one of the greatest things about NFT Draft is that with what they're going to do with future series and making them stack together and both have utility is a combination of Dynasty and DFS. And that's not something that we've seen before. So that I think is really cool. And so, where it's going to go this year, I'm excited for. Where it's going to go next year, I'm excited for. And I have no idea where it's going to be in 10 years, but I'm excited for that too.
Yeah, I think their incentives are placed correctly. I think it's about user acquisition now in a lot of ways. Johnny Brady, why do you rub it in? I am not into Splinterlands. Jacob, I don't think you are either.
I've dabbled here and there. I started, I stopped, I started a little bit again. It's too active for me.
I know why Johnny's talking about it. Jeff in the Discord mentioned something about, oh, guys, I'm going to be rich soon. Oh, really, Jeff? Why this time? It's because, because Splinterlands is doing an SPS token that's all these VCs have locked up tokens, and I get it airdropped every week, which is actually better than I thought it was going to be for Jeff. I said, I'll ask the question, is there a possibility of me getting this token now? He's like, no, because I'm just going to get it airdropped to me because he spent an ungodly amount of money on that. But now I think he's, Jeff, thank you, Jeff. Yeah, every day. Sorry, Jeff's just earlier. He had the meme of the naked duck counting his bills. Yeah, he's doing that again. Great, Jeff. Fantastic. Glad to hear it. No, Jeff, we're not in Splinterlands.
If you sold all your 345 million Ether right now, let's assume that it didn't move the market, because it will. But at current prices, what would that be in USD? If you immediately just cashed it all out from Ether to Wax and then took it from Wax to USD, tell us in the chat. I want to know what it is, because that's hashtag how rich.
I think we've covered this already, Jacob, but we're both wife guys, and just you completely adopting your wife's pronunciation, even though it hurts me to see you try to pronounce it that way, just solidifies the wife guy stuff. I think it's fantastic. Let's see what else is going on in Wax World. I was watching a Sammy stream briefly, and Sammy Snake, and he's our god. He's our lodestar that we should all seek to follow. And he was mentioning, literally the day that we rebranded from Our Planet, one project on Wax, to Wax World, he's mentioning a project that I'm interested in. It's on Binance Smart Chain. So maybe we have to rebrand to Wax and Binance. Wax and I don't know, but we'll figure it out. I don't know. We'll see if we want to go there. But it seemed interesting. I forget what it's called.
Does Club Top Shot always only talk about Top Shot?
No, absolutely not.
There you go. So we can be focused on Wax World, and talk about non-Wax things. Speaking of, I told you I had big news for you, right?
Yeah. Do it.
Do you remember Farsight?
Yeah, I have one of the packs, cargo things.
I don't know, whatever it was. Do you remember that you helped me out that day?
Yeah.
I don't remember what was going on in my life, but Tom offered, this was pre-stream, so like I literally didn't know him. I just knew him a little bit through Discord as Dangy Wing, and
Igor gets it.
To buy some of these packs. I thought they were going to take off. They were going to be huge. They weren't, but he bought me 3 of them. It was 0.1. It was a little under because there was a little discount. It was a little less than 0.15 Ethereum, wrapped Ethereum, I believe it was. Well, today I get an email, 12:40 a.m. and I was out. I was hiking. I was with my wife. I wasn't really checking my phone. All of a sudden, just like scrolling through emails, I see, wait, what's this? Your item sold. It was the one pack that I opened contained a couple of items. So I still have everything else that I own from that. And for 0.11 WETH, it sold. So
there you go.
I'm almost at break even on one sale that just happened after this, I thought, flop happened months ago, and I just left it sitting on the market. So, Tom, thank you, because without you, I would have had 0. And instead of, having these bags that seem like there must be some news. I have no idea what's happening on Farside. I stopped following it months ago, but there must be some news because I also got lowball offers on the rest of my stuff.
Yeah, I saw there was news as well. I also don't know what that news is. We're bad at this stream. Jeff is just describing how rich he is.
So it's okay. It's not wax.
That's a fair point. But Igor has a point. Crypto Blades will bridge to wax. I don't yet know exactly what that means. Sammy was having a hell of a time trying to get his money over to Binance Smart Chain. That's about when I tapped out. But the chat, it was a heroic day for Sammy. He got his money over correctly. So
you see what Jeff said? He's currently holding on a $5,000 bag of Ether.
I thought it was much more than that, to be honest with you. And it was.
This is just the Ether that he's holding right now.
Yeah.
That's it. That's not the fact that he's continuously getting 700,000 an hour. That's not all the NFTs he has. Mm-hmm. That's not any of the lands. Just the current holdings that he has is worth $5,000.
Yeah, I honestly thought it'd be more. And it was yesterday. More yesterday. It was more an hour ago. We'll see what the next hour brings for the little engine that might, I guess.
Well, we've got land upgrades coming this week.
That's what I'm asking Jeff as our resident whale. Are you going to upgrade? And he's like, I don't know if it makes sense financially, Tom. And I go, that's not a good answer for me. I want you to tell me because I need you, buddy. I need you to burn your Aether, please. Burn it.
Well, he gave you an answer. Jeff said that he is going to take out his spreadsheets and do the math, and he's going to decide whether the EV is better to upgrade land or to cash out his Ether.
Yeah. All right, Jacob. I think it's pack time.
All right. Well,
do you want to rip, or do you want me to rip, or are we doing both? What's your?
I think we can do both. So here's my train of the century story. Is I had no idea what this was. I missed out on all the drops and everything. I was chilling in our Discord, and someone was saying that, like, oh, there's like 2 packs left. These big packs at 1,400 wax, and you know how it goes. When you're liquid, you make dumb moves, and when you're not liquid, you're upset that you miss out on the good moves because you're not liquid. So I was liquid, and I went and I bought 2 things. I bought like the most basic train you can buy, which has gotten me from being staked. I'm up to 5.2 token for just the most basic one that's being staked for 0.0417. And I also bought a max pack. At the time it was 1,400. I was told 1,400 is a good price. And I said, you know what? Well, here's what's going to happen. Either I'm going to flip it. If it gets to the price where it makes sense to flip it, I'm going to flip it. But if it doesn't rise to that, then I'm going to rip it on stream. Guess where the price is right now?
Where is it?
The low price is at 1,200 wax. So needless to say, I'm not going to swallow a 200 wax loss. I'm going to rip this pack and hope to get something good out of it, which is unlikely given my pack luck.
I love it. Okay. I will embarrass myself and describe what I believe train of the century to be while you get prepared and share your screen. I don't believe there's audio, so feel free to just do your normal thing.
I don't even know where to go, so we're gonna walk this through together. And if I mess up, someone's gonna have to help.
I actually found it. I'll put it in the chat. for
Okay.
you. So Train of the Century, the whole gist of it, and I am wearing a train shirt, by the way. It says Big Boy, and I thought it was funny that it says Big Boy, and it's like Big Boy Choo Choo, but the Big Boy train is like a
that's
legit
the one
train.
that I have. That's the cheapest one that I bought, the Big Boy.
Yeah. Wait, Guarch is saying there is audio, so please share
I don't know
audio.
if it is, so let me try this again.
So Train of the Century, I didn't know that you could be in the past. The whole idea apparently is you can time travel as a train, they're called railroaders. Like you are the railroader in this world, which is just very funny to me too. Just that word, railroader. Is that what a railroad person is called? I don't know, but it is here. So you can be a railroader in one of 3 centuries. In 18, I know this is a year, not a century. 1801, 2001, or 3401. Has anyone seen? Are we still in the past, or are we in the future yet? Because I'm curious about the future trains. Oh, what if these trains are the ones that carry the robots from our planet into battle? Could we do that?
We're on the wrong planet.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a specific planet.
Well, the trains are on Earth, and our planet is on our planet.
Well, okay, fair point. Fair point. Here's the good thing. I'm glad there's an Earth in 3401. That's good. I'm glad to hear this. Thank you, Train of the Century. So that's the whole conceit, essentially, for Train of the Century. But what I like about it is the passive income relating to our planet. I think we're also on the downslope for that. Igor is mentioning that in the chat.
Right. Igor tells me I should sell all 5 of my my token right now because it's gonna go down to 0 later. But I mean, that's my 5 is worth anyway. It's like what, 10 wax?
10 wax is better than 0 wax, though.
True.
So then there's some roles within Train of the Century. You can have you need a conductor, you need an engine, and you need cars. And the cars carry stuff, so you can move like oil, you can move corn, other commodities like that.
Have you ever played, Tom? Have you ever played Ticket to Ride?
I have.
Does this not seem like it's Ticket to Ride NFTs? It's like a combination of Ticket to Ride and the one with the ore and the wheat. I feel like
Catan.
Yeah, it's like Settlers of Tickets to Ride.
I love it.
Across different centuries.
I guess I don't know if it's is that a modifier though? Like if you carry ore, is that worth more than if you carry marbles? I don't know.
I have not researched the lore. I just know that what you said, you need 3 things. There's time travel, and I bought a pack, and I'm gonna rip this pack.
That's amazing. Okay, so I have pack envy. I don't think I'm gonna rip mine because mine's a Slack pack, and it just sucks compared to Jacob's. So I'm just gonna let him rip his, and then I think we'll be done.
I mean, the show. When you say sucks, the fact is that percentage wise, all I get is an extra 0.3% for a max pack, but it does contain 9 instead of 3.
Yeah, so you're three times. You got 3 times more trains, more choo-choos.
All right. Then the other question is, do we want to save more packs? Well, next week is going to be NFT draft opening day. So I've also got Green Rabbit. I've got a bunch of Green Rabbit stuff. I flipped a bunch successfully. I could open either a starter pack or I could open. I'd probably start with the starter pack. I still have 2 starter packs that I got at cost at the drop after flipping the 2 that I bought, after that. So we could open that.
We're going to rip NFT draft packs. There's no doubt about it. We're going to have those packs of ours to rip. We're going to have giveaways next time. We'll keep a lookout for us on social media for how we're going to do the giveaway. I think we should do it on stream. We can do it Google Form style, drop it in the chat, and then rip it that way. So, all right, Jacob, let's hear this music. I am so excited.
Okay, I really have no idea what this is going to look like. So are we doing a walk-off rip on this one? Yeah, we are. Okay, so I just, if you can pull up my comment here, guys, please go ahead. You can add @DangyWing you can follow @DangyWing on Twitter. You can follow me at the JT Cohen. But more importantly, follow our show at Waxworld NFT. Subscribe, give us a like. But specifically follow us so you know exactly when everything is coming up. What is our next great wax project coming up? But we decided it's not Saw. So
follow Sammy Snake. I'm not even kidding. Like here's my methodology.
We need Sammy to get on the show.
I would go get Sammy's alpha and then give it to you guys. So just that's not what this show is. The show's not going to be giving you hot stock tips. Maybe I'm not a finance guy, but who knows? Gouache, pump those bags, baby. I love it.
We have
pump
3
those bags,
days.
baby.
We've got 3 days. July 28th, probably at like midnight Ukrainian time, or like 4 a.m. on the 29th Ukrainian time. So like, 6, 7 p.m. our time here. It will probably be based upon past experience when land upgrading will launch. But, stay tuned for that. We'll definitely have something to talk about next week when it comes to that. We'll be ripping some NFT and doing some giveaways. So again,
one more thing, Jacob.
Yeah.
If I get a mythic hop when hops get invented at our planet, which is imminent. They're doing hints for hops now between 5 million and 10 million. If I get a mythic, I will be drunk on stream. I haven't been drunk in months, and hops, and I like beer, so that's gonna have to happen. Just so you know.
I was at a brewery today. They had a 90 IBU. It was called the Hop Creature. So it was called Eureka Springs Brewery in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Population 2,093, and I got the topless blonde, which was very low in IBUs because I don't like hops. But the Hop Creature, it was about 90 IBU. So, and it was like 8.5% alcohol. So I don't know. You can't get it without going to the brewery, but you should get that if you can.
Yeah, and I'm pulling it up. That's good. 2 breweries opening up in my town actually, and they are like 3,000. We're about probably 3,500 people. So yeah, sounds like Eureka Springs, North Carolina.
Jeff is trying to keep pumping his Splinterlands bags, but he does bring up a couple other good points. So Splinterlands, yeah, okay, fine. SPS, we've already established that Tom and I don't care, but other people do. So good for you guys. NFT draft is going to be ripping this week. Green Rabbit staking starts 27th, the 28th for our planet land upgrades. There's going to be a lot to talk about. We might have to plan for an extra long show next week. We'll see. We'll have to figure that out. But in the meantime, follow us on Twitter in order to get all the updates, in order to be eligible for the giveaway that's going to be upcoming. Here we go. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm fairly sure that there's no audio and Gouache just messed with us. I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's just saying reveal locomotives. Let's see.
Gouache.
All right, we gotta watch this all the way through now.
Yeah.
Trains and time travel.
This is how we learn what this is.
Rule the rails.
That's a high quality video. That's better than I expected for wax. And I misspelled wax on the banner. Oh my god.
Whack.
Oh,
all right, what I get? Is anything good? Someone please tell me. I don't know what I'm looking at. I see a couple of big boys. Here, let's go through this. So let's see. Diesel electric. The big boy. Someone tell me. I mean, I don't even know how to tell. Like, are these commons? Are these uncommons? They're probably all commons.
This is my big complaint with these wax projects. They don't tell you explicitly what it is. They expect you to read.
SCR. Like I'm reading this and I don't see anything that says like common, uncommon.
Top the green.
3. I got
green
2.
Has to be uncommon.
I got 2 uncommons. So I got a 3 here. It's a rough pack. I told you I don't have good pack luck. Oh, this one's a 4. Is 4 good? Worst pack ever. Jeff tells me I got the worst pack ever. I should have expected it, but like again, what was I going to do? Sell it for
you want red or yellow?
I want red or yellow. All right. Well, you guys got to enjoy me opening a terrible pack. I'm going to go stake it all. And good night, everyone, and good luck.